later on. Friday morning's photo op was the last time the two best friends will talk until game time on Sunday. They're competitors now. Said Lovie Smith, there's going to be a winner and a loser. We realize that. At Super Bowl 41, Sal Palantonio, ESPN.
Sal, it is hard to imagine a Super Bowl coaching matchup receiving more attention than this one, and of course, it's understandable this time around. Tony Dungy hired Lovie Smith in Tampa as a defensive assistant, and 10 years later, here they are coaching against each other in the Super Bowl. Now, here's Chris Berman's 2-minute drill.
The Super Bowl memories in Miami are so vivid. Joe Willie Namath pulling off the greatest upset of all time. A pair of Steelers wins over the Cowboys, each by 4, both of them classics. Joe Montana to John Taylor for the winner in the waning moments. John Elway's final game, an exclamation point. This time, there's the possibility for more. Tony Dungy's finally back in the Super Bowl for the first time since he was a member of those 78 Steelers. And Peyton Manning in the big one at last in his 9th NFL season.
It's starting to hit me this week. It really is. I mean, I'm trying, and everybody says just treat it like a normal week in your normal routine, but it's not a normal week.
I told the team when we started practice on Wednesday, Coach Noll's philosophy was you do what you do and don't change, and that's what we've got to do.
There's also the chance for Colts president Bill Polian to come out a winner. He was the architect of those Buffalo teams that came oh so close. Bears tackle Reuben Brown began in Buffalo just after the glory years, but was a teammate of many of those Bills.
I just remember the excitement they had about going at that thing together. You know, Jim and Thurman and those guys, I mean, they knew they could do it.
The veteran Bears offensive line is the heart and soul of this team, but Chicago's bread and butter is their defense. They were the NFL's best in forcing opponents to cough up the football. 49 times it happened, including 4 of them in the NFC title game. It's not an accident.
We get takeaways, field positions. I think we led the NFL in points off takeaways this year. I like to call them takeaways. People call them turnovers, but we take it away.
If you come out to our practice, you'll see it. Every time there's a ball carrier has the ball, we're stripping it. If there's an incomplete pass, we pick it up like it's a turnover, and we have our players score from there. Just a mindset that you have, and our players have it.
It's like religion. You know what I mean? It's preached to us every day. When we're in practice, if we don't strip, coaches get on us.
Instant offense, just that fast. I think we like to compare ourselves to the Lakers. You know, when they used to run and gun, whenever anybody sees the ball out, got to scoop it up and score.
Is this defense now close to where it was when you were rolling early in the year?
I think so. The number one thing is our confidence is back. You know, we kind of lost it there at the end of the season. We weren't playing like we're supposed to, but you know, we plugged some guys in. We're playing hard, and that's all we can do is just play hard and get to the football.
The Bears' turnovers helped them towards winning many a blowout game, while this year's Colts, for a change, were involved in many a nail-biter. In games decided by 7 or less, Indy played 12 of them, including the AFC title game. The Bears, only 6. As for blowouts, 18 points or more, Chicago played in 9 of them, including the NFC title game. The Colts had only 4. Indy believes that having to think for all 60 minutes is a big reason they got over the Super Bowl hump.
I think it's really important, the fact that we hadn't always been out to big leads, been ahead of people. We've had to come from behind.
New England, 21-6. Now, to say we had them right where we wanted them, that's a lie. But to say there was panic, no, there was no panic.
Now from the what goes around comes around department. The Jets' Joe Klecko was one of the best defensive tackles of his day, sacking everyone, including Archie Manning. He never made a Super Bowl, but his son Dan is now going to his 3rd, in part because he caught a title game TD pass from Archie's son, Peyton.
Did it look like a golf ball, or did it look huge?
No, because you know what? You don't have that kind of time to think. You just catch it and go in, and then afterwards you kind of go, oh, I just scored a touchdown in the AFC Championship game. That was pretty cool.
So Dan Klecko, Jeff Saturday are touchdown machines for the Colts. You knew it was your day then. It was going to be.
Hey, you can't underestimate us fat guys.
Klecko was here before as a Patriot. Same, of course, for Adam Vinatieri. Vinatieri's 48-yarder won Super Bowl 36. His 41-yarder won Super Bowl 38. The first to do it since Baltimore Colts rookie kicker Jim O'Brien nailed the 32-yarder to win Super Bowl 5 right here in Miami.
He actually called and congratulated me on my first Super Bowl kick, and it was great.
Now that's football history. Here's some American history. General George Custer knew he'd be kicking into more than just a crosswind a century and a half ago at the Battle of Little Bighorn.
Great-great-grandfather was the bandmaster for General George Custer. I know we've talked about this once or twice.
Yes, but not
before.
in blue and white.
That's right, that's right. But they went to the Battle of Little Bighorn, and they left their band behind, thank goodness for me.
So again, we could say that missing the Battle of Little Bighorn was the greatest miss in Vinatieri family history.
I think you're probably right.
Speaking of special teams, my favorite moment this year was the Saints' Steve Gleason blocking the Falcons' punt in the reopening game at the Superdome. It was a New Orleans touchdown with the extra point tacked on by John Carney. Steve Gleason, John Carney, and the Saints were one win away from making it to the Super Bowl. Now, on NFC Championship Sunday, the Bears were too strong for the Saints, but it did get us to thinking, being a fan of the honeymooners, as the Schwam is. Gleason, Carney, Adam Meadows used to be on the Colts, so why not, in Miami Beach, come to the Jackie Gleason Theater? He always said, the Miami Beach audience is the greatest in the world. And as it turns out, Gleason and Carney were huge fans of the Schwam.
All right, oh honorable Swami. What is the object I have in my hand, oh Swami? Watch out for this one. It is a watch, oh honorable. That's absolutely correct.
Jackie Gleason and Art Carney, they were geniuses. And they were together almost as long on TV as Chris Berman and Tom Jackson, whoever those guys are. But on to the game, on to the Super Bowl pick, as Jackie Gleason himself would say, and away we go. Last week we nailed the Bears but had the Pats, so 1-1 makes us 6-4 in the postseason, above the Mendoza line all the way around. The Bears at 15-3 and a touchdown underdog, that's a Swam classic spot. But I can't help but think of our compatriot Steve Young. He could never beat Dallas in the title games. And then, when he and the Niners finally did, they advanced to Super Bowl 29, where Steve had one of the best games of all time. 6 touchdown passes, 49 points in a blowout.
Do you know what that game was? Take a look around.
It was right here in this stadium. I've forgotten where it was. I remember that game, though.
On the very same field, Peyton will have an absolutely super game. The Bears will be tough, but it's just the Colts' time. Indy 30, Chicago 20. And in the end, Manning will join his name to the legends who ran off the field in Miami, signaling they were indeed number one. All of the legends.
If the Bears defense wants to find out how to get into the head of Peyton Manning, then they better listen up. Number 18's biggest nemesis revealing his secret coming up. And some March Madness in February. Bubbles already beginning to burst. What schools are in danger of being bounced from the brackets? The Game Day crew is on the way.